Hey, welcome back to Beer Geeks Beer Reviews. Your host, Scott White, and here's another beer strictly for you. Now, tonight we got one that I went ahead and picked up. I already posted my pictures up on Facebook, and I seen this one out at the store that I was at tonight because I was out for a beer tasting this evening at 101 Beers, Bottles of Beer on the Wall, up here in Kent, Ohio. And I happened to see this one and a counterpart, I should say, that was been released recently, and I thought, why not pick it up, review it, see what everybody else thinks about it. I had the Southern Hemisphere. Well, now I have Sierra Nevada's Northern Hemisphere Harvest. Again, pick this up. This comes in at a whopping, I believe it's only Um, 6.7% alcohol by volume, 1 pint, 8 full ounces, and it merely only costs $5.49. Pop this open. Mm -mm -mm. Gravy, look at the smoke. There's a lot of smoke in that. Now, here is just your general cap, and it's got the pricing on it. Probably not going to play nice with me tonight. $5.49 is not bad for a big beer like this. Now, this is a wet hopped ale. It is the 2013 edition. I am very anxious to give it a go. Wow. Hmm. Very nice. Carbonation is going wild in here, matter of fact. And if I'm not mistaken, there are hot particles floating all about. Um, you can look very closely. It almost by eye looks like a filtered ale. You kind of have to look rather closely at it to be able to see that there are particles floating all about. Now with the etched glass, I don't know if you will be able to see. Probably not. And you can see a little bit up by the top of my hand, then maybe right there where my face is showing through. There are tons of bubbles. This is coming because it's the, like I said, the etched glass I am using. Of course, my Sam Adams Boston Lager glass, aka the perfect pint glass. Um, that is purely speculation, whether or not you believe that. Um, I tend to go by it. But anyway, um, nice dark golden color. Um, I sit there and go by a deep rustic golden color. The head is the head's sticking around very nicely. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going anywhere at all. It's very still. I can see the bigger bubbles popping around the edges here, but the head itself in the center is very rocky, very fluffy. It does have like a little bit of an off-white tinge to it. I'll go ahead and pour a little bit more in this. Get it to, there we go. Look at that. Head popped up right there. Very light, very refreshing smelling. Um, very hoppy. The hop characteristic is very notable right off the bat. Start this up a little bit, get this head to go down just a tad bit or even out here. Because when you stir it around like this, you tend to get that ice cream clump right there in the center. Um, and that seems to be where we're going to go with that. Just kind of like the soapy ice cream top to it now. Let's go ahead and dip into this and get a mouthfeel and flavors. Prost. Cheers, my friends. All right, first off, I I, I I want to say that it starts off with a little bit of a bready note before the hops kind of rush in, and there they are. There is like the malt characteristic shows through. It's not like a any type of burnt or charred, you know, malt flavor to it. It's got that substantial like caramel sweetness to it. It's got a little bit of like a bready note or a cereal note to it, and then the hops kind of take over from there, and then it finishes off with that kind of like biscuit note. Um, the hops themselves are not very acidic. They're more earthy. They're more grassy. Little bit of a piney note to it. Um, the to this it doesn't say much. The bottle just says each fall hops reach their peak flavor. Let me see what type of hops they use if they give you anything on here. Um, this features wet or undried whole cone hops from Yakimiya. Whether or not I pronounced that right, I am so sorry. I don't. It's out of Washington. Um, that are plucked from the vine, delivered to our brewery within 24 hours of packaging. Well, very nice. I mean, it shouldn't take too long to get there anyway because, you know, California, I don't really know where Chico, California is located off the top of my head. I believe it's the southern part of California. Um, I don't see where they're mentioning what type of hop. It says the extraordinary efforts creates a beer with unmatched aromatics with fresh pine, green grassy, and citrus. Um, mm, I don't know when this was bottled. It doesn't have a bottling date on it. It's pretty much like a production code right here above the labeling. I wish they would just slap on a dating to this. It would make it a hell of a whole lot easier. I hate production codes. And you got to go find out when it was bottled, blah blah blah. With that said, um, it's a really good one. For the price point, I will say that this is a excellent beer. I mean, you can pick this up. I don't know where anybody else could get this. It should be widely available pretty much anywhere that the specialty beers would be sold, or the bigger bottles, 22 ounces plus bottles of any specialties would be sold. Sierra Nevada is pretty well known, and it's pretty much out there all over. I would suggest go ahead, get it, pick it up, give it a try. It's very good, very drinkable, and a joy to try. With that said, I'm about to get up out of here. This has been another review by Beer Geese Beer Reviews. Please do not drink and drive, and please rate, comment, and subscribe. Pros, deuce, peace. See you on the flip side.